You only need the jacket, so you can keep the shirt also.
יש? אפשר להתחיל? אחר צהריים טובים, ברוכים הבאים מסיבת עיתונאים אחרי לא מעט זמן. משהו כזה, לקראת הסופר קאפ נגד מכבי חיפה מחר. שאלות רק בבקשה למיקרופון, לפי המסורת, מוישלה בבקשה.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Fine, much better. Tomorrow it's a very, very important game. מכבי חיפה.
Yeah.
What do you think of the game?
Well, what I think of the game is that these are the games that you are looking forward to, and as a coach you don't have to motivate the players because they want to win. They want to give a good performance because it's the first game where there's a lot of attention, not only from you guys, the media, but also from fans. So it's the first time for us to show ourselves in Israel.
I want to take you 2 days back to the first game of the season in Montenegro. What was your impression? What do you think about this game? And towards to the second match on Thursday.
Well, I think in this game we didn't bring what we are able to bring, what the players have shown in the training camp. In our final game of the camp against Heerenveen, I think that was a very good game to finish a camp with the right motivation and tempo. I missed the tempo in this game. I think the intentions of the team, of course, is not to do it, but okay, the situation and the circumstances brought us in this lower tempo game, and at the end we have to be. I am satisfied with the way we finished the game, where we showed the team spirit like we have shown in the previous season also when we were 10. I told the team, for example, that I thought that our energy and our aggression was much higher with 10 than the way we started.
Can you explain that?
Well, this is something you can ask Andre, the next one. And, for me, I think there was a certain tension because it was the first official game. And yeah, we are only 4 weeks away in our preparation after a very short break, after an intense season. So I think we have to take a little bit more our time and still think about what we have done in the past to make sure that we don't run into trouble in the coming season.
And if we talk about the game tomorrow, about the timing of the game, would you prefer this game will be in a different date or somewhere later, or
well,
it's a good game for you for preparation to Thursday?
Well, I think that, and I think the coach of the opposing team, in a lot of countries, it's the start of the league, the Super Cup. A week later, you start with the league. So I think that the moment could have been decided in a better way to do it also in here 1 week before the start of the league. And I think that with all the teams as Israel we have now in the conference league, that there should be a little bit more thought about the timing of this game. Yes.
Coach, if you look at the changes in the squad, some players left, players that was on loan came in. What is your impression of the status of your squad until now? And we will see other players arriving until the end of the transfer window?
Well, as you know, Maccabi takes its time in selecting the foreign players. We want to be sure that we are taking the right players that fit into our squad. That is also partly the reason why we have taken in more younger players from the beginning, players with experience in the second division, and some of the players that were on loan in the Premier League, to give them a chance to show themselves, and not for 1 week or 5 days, but to take the pre-season for that. And now we are coming into the situation that we together with the management and the owner of the club will evaluate what our next steps will be. I'm very happy with all the young guys, what they have shown. with the surprises they have given us, positive surprises they have given us during the camp. And not only me, but also the more experienced players recognizing the talent of the boys. But we also see that they still have a long way to go.
In the previous seasons, the teams with the best Israeli players usually won the championship. And in the last season, last year, Maccabi Tel Aviv lost 3 or maybe 4 of the best Israeli players. Dor Peretz, Micha Atzili, for their own reasons. Do you see in this squad players that maybe we are not thinking about them as the best Israeli players making the step this season?
Well, I think that we have a very talented group. I don't want to speak about not the best Israeli players. I think we have a talented group that at this moment is younger than in the previous seasons, but there's still time to influence that. But we are very happy with the qualities the young players have shown, and I think that they are belonging also. If we talk about quality Israeli players, we can categorize them also under quality players because they have qualities, although they are young.
I want to ask you about the goalkeeper position. First of all, what was your impression from Daniel Peretz? Can you tell us what about the injury of Daniel Tenenbaum, and what are your thoughts with Aniotis? If he's supposed to stay here, or maybe you plan to loan him?
First of all, Daniel Peretz, I think, is on the right track. I've known him for a few years now, and I think that this is the moment where he gets the opportunity to show his qualities at the highest level. He's doing it every day in training sessions. He had in Daniel Tenenbaum a goalkeeper in front of him that did well from the moment he started to play. And his injury of Daniel that keeps him out now for a few weeks already. It gives him the opportunity to show us how far he is. In talent we know, and now we have to see it in matches, in official matches. And I think that the impression he gave me is that he did well. He was organizing, he was calm, which you don't expect for a young goalkeeper in an official European game. So I'm satisfied with his performance, yes.
About the injury of Daniel Tenenbaum, what can you tell?
I think with Daniel Tenenbaum, the injury is in a place that we just have to be careful and don't need to hurry him. Because again, we have a lot of games coming up and we want to have everybody fit. So we are also careful with Daniel after the intensive seasons he has played the previous seasons.
And the situation of Aniotis, are you going to leave him in the squad, or maybe you plan to loan him?
As I said about the younger players, the same situation applies to Giannottis, and that is also that we will evaluate the situation in a few weeks.
I want to ask you about the game tomorrow. Are you going to use this game to make some rotation in your squad, in your lineup, or are you going to play with your strongest team because of the opponent that is playing against you?
We not only see this as an official game and the start of the Israeli matches. So we are not only smart, but we also want to bring a good game. So we will use everybody because we have on Thursday again a game. So we're not just taking it as a pre-season game and letting everybody to play. No, we are going also for the result. And this is also something that the players themselves want. So everybody wants to achieve a good result in this game.
Maccabi Haifa had 3 official matches until now. I guess you saw them. What is your impression of Maccabi Haifa that you saw this season? Do you think that they got stronger, maybe weaker? How do you see it?
Well, the first 2 games I watched with interest to FC Kairat also. Because that is something where I also started, so it's good for me to see where they are coming. And knowing the quality of Haifa from the previous season, I was surprised by Kairat. And I think that Haifa, as we is in a pre-season confronted with a lot of official matches also already in an early part of the season. And that they will become better, fitter, like we are becoming better and fitter in the weeks.
Good evening, Andre. I want to ask you about the first match on Thursdays. How did you felt at the end of it? I think it was not the best moment of Maccabi Tel Aviv on Thursday, but the way that you finish it, maybe it's something that you can take.
Yes, good evening. Like the coach said, maybe we looked better with 10 players, but this is a thing that we will analyze for sure and understand why it happened. But of course, it was not the best condition. Also, the pitch was not so good to play. We like to play fast, and the pitch was dry and big, and it was not easy to play our game. But okay, we are in half time. It was not the best result, but we still have another game to achieve our goal.
If you're looking on Sunday, tomorrow against Maccabi Haifa, it's the first title of the season, but also it's the match between the two that will fight until the end of this year for the championship. What these games make to you as a team? How do you feel before those kind of games?
I think every player wants to play this type of games, you know. When you play to win titles, is the best that can happen to you. So we are ready to play tomorrow and to play our game and to win.
Even though it's not a league game against Maccabi Haifa, do you think a good result against Maccabi Haifa is also mentally important because this is your main revival for the championship?
No, I don't think it's not about this. It's only one game. Of course, it's an important game. This is time to focus on this one, to win this one, and we need to think game by game, not if this game will influence another thing. Only this game.
And about the second game on Thursday, probably we will not speak with you till then. So after a 0-0 in the first game, you come home with Bloomfield, with your own crowd. Probably will be a different effect about the game.
Of course, the conditions will be different, but now is the focus is total on tomorrow's game, and after we have time to prepare the next one.
I want to take you back a few months back to the moment that Maccabi is allowing the foreign players to leave Israel because of the missiles from Gaza. I want to ask you personally, how did you felt in those days, and what made you come back eventually to Israel? Because we saw that some of them didn't return, like Pesic.
But Pesic was because of Corona, I think. The rest, we came when it was a quiet time, because not only about us, was about our families also. They were not feeling safe here, and the club had gave us the permit to go. It was a great gesture, and we had almost 1 week out, but we told and we agreed before, when everything was calm, we come back, so this is what happens.
And how do you feel in those days in Israel? Because we know that you and your family are very connected with this country.
No, it was not easy to feel this war, but okay, like I said, the club gave the opportunity to us to go, and our families also stay there after this. So at the end, it passed, and it's everything okay now.
Thank you.
Thank you.